Hello, this is Only Joel Can Judge Me, also known as Grandpa Jackal, and this is a solo Deathless full clear of the Super Helldive difficulty on bugs of the ICBM mission type, which is one of the hardest mission types. I'm going to go over my stratagems. I chose MG Turret for CC, Tesla for CC, 120 for base clearing, bug nest clearing, recoilless rifle for heavy killing, also killing some bug holes, and just generally dealing with anything big that I have to deal with. Experimental infusion to get out quick if I need to. Knight because it shreds. This is a fully upgraded Knight, and it destroys bugs. And Senator to give me some coverage on any armored units. Also kill some heavies. And Thermites to, gas grenades for further CC coverage that I can apply when I need it. This is one of my more fun games. Instead of despawning and running for breaches, I fight most of what I can. If I do run, it's with purpose. It's because I'm running out of time and I'm trying to multitask. ICBM is one of the longer mission types. And what's part of the difficulty with this mission type is having to do all the things within the allotted time frame. If you chose to fight everything and not manage your time correctly, you will most likely run out of time. So it's a balance between engage, disengage, seeing if it's worth it to stay engaged in the fight or it's better to despawn, and then learning to rotate objectives or do multiple objectives at once and waffle back and forth. I started at the Mega Nest because I wanted to soften it with the 120. I want to do this straight away, so that I can maybe throw a couple 120s on it, get all the bug holes closed, or as many as I can, and then manually close the rest. I chose to play the game in more of a CQB style, a super aggressive, disrespectful style gameplay, which is usually not advised on bugs. Bugs you have to treat carefully, you have to treat them with respect. You shouldn't be weaving through them like you would bots. But I wanted to do something a little different without the aid of a backpack, without the help of a bubble shield or a gas dog, or any other backpack for that matter. As you can see, I'm just carelessly running through enemies. And I did this because I try to get comfortable being in a close and dangerous space and still be able to operate effectively.
Dropping a pin.
It's dangerous because sometimes you FAFO. I mean, you get a little too close and you get caught up there. But I have confidence that I can navigate closely in a much more personal space and still be effective because it's faster. So it's a game of calculated risks, and I'm just turning it up a notch in this game.
Deploying sentry.
You can usually play safe, you can back off, you can despawn, you can, fight from a distance, but I wanted to get up close, personal, really careless, really reckless, more of a John Wick style game. That's the consensus though, is to solo bugs. You do a lot of despawning and a lot of running. And it seems like bugs have been tweaked. They're a lot more aggressive, they're a lot more accurate. And I wanted to show that even with those changes, you can still solo, and you can solo the hardest mission type, which is ICBM. Right now we've closed 6 of 11 holes at the Mega Nest in just about 4 minutes. You can use your gas grenades to close some bug holes, just like you could use the RR here and the 120. So you have a decent amount of coverage. But all of it has to be manually applied, as opposed to other builds where it's a lot easier to close bug holes. Like I said, I play it nice and close this entire game. You don't really back off too much. I'm basically taking my bot style of recklessness and applying it to bugs. I mean, I'm obviously not the only person to do that. One of the best is the Korean pro player Yellow Grapes, who I obviously take a lot of inspiration for in this type of gameplay. To be completely honest, he's one of the first people I watched who used Night effectively and made me understand just how good of a weapon it is. And now that we've gotten the weapon upgrades, Night's pretty much the best weapon you can use on bugs.
For prosperity!
From watching Yellow Grapes play before the upgrades, I've pretty much learned that it provides you to get much closer and be much more aggressive with bugs. And I highly recommend it if that's the type of gameplay you want to do.
Get some! Get some!
If your style is visceral,
How about a nice
if your style is reactionary, if it's like you're playing Devil May Cry, I would highly suggest Night.
Never sleep!
If you want to play this like you're John Wick, this is the weapon for it. In fact, this loadout, each of the weapons, Senator, recoilless rifle, and Night,
Tagging
they
map.
cover each other's weaknesses really well. And this combination provides like a synergy where you should be cycling through all the weapons to address the different enemy types coming your way. If you're good at cycling weapons, if you're good at recognizing an enemy and what weapon you have is best to address that enemy, and you're comfortable with swapping, this is the build. It's also very fun. It's engaging. It's better than just like holding down a trigger and shooting.
Sending down equipment package.
You're gonna do a lot of repositioning,
Down sentry.
a lot of movement, a lot of agility, a lot of weapon swapping. And in my opinion, it's a lot more engaging than just like holding a trigger down and shooting.
Terminid hive structure.
As you can see, the recoilless rifle is also good for things like spore spewers, any air nests, you know, the shrieker nests. You can use your R to snipe from afar. Bringing the MG turret gives you a little bit of anti-air
Found
coverage,
something.
and you also have a good amount of overlap using the Knight and the Senator. Shriekers tend to be a problem on bugs, and this loadout has plenty of different ways to address that threat. So that's air. Air is covered under this build. Heavies can be pretty much all handled through your recoilless rifle.
Bug outpost!
That's pretty much all you need, and you shouldn't have a problem addressing any heavy unit.
Orbital barrage incoming.
When it comes to
Stand
light
clear.
units, like stalkers and any other quick light unit, like the little bugs, the little, I don't know what you call them, chodes, scrubs? I don't know what you call them. The tiny little bugs can all be ripped apart by the Knight. And then the hive guards, who have a little bit of armor on them, can either be addressed by aiming the Knight at their soft parts and not their hardened carapace armor, which is like in between the joints, and they can be shredded pretty quickly, or just taking your Senator and firing center mass. There's also spore spewers in this game. Same deal. So Senator shots to the armored head will kill them effectively, and obviously don't fire your light penetration Knight at their armored head. Look and aim it at their fat glowing bodies,
Sending
and the
down
Knight
sentry.
has enough damage to shred them too quickly.
Dropping a pin.
When the example comes up, I'll show you. Right now I'm being chased by air. I'm using my Tesla as a little bit of impetus to the breach that just popped
Main
up.
objective near your position.
For prosperity!
It's a good thing about the Teslas. Any breach that shows up, just drop your Tesla. You'll be alright. One area of concern is what if a heavy unit spawns out
How'd you like
of
to
the
taste
breach?
some freedom?
Well, one way you can treat it is your Tesla's giving you enough time, because the heavy unit will prioritize the Tesla over you, so it gives you some time to run. Or you can use it to take aim at the heavy unit and not worry about it attacking you, because it's going to be focused on the Tesla. The Tesla has priority, and it'll give you
Sentry.
enough time to comfortably and slowly aim at the weak spot on the heavy unit without worrying that you're going to get attacked by it. I can just fire that net at the gooey bits, the glowing green bits on a Spore Spear, and they'll die. One RR shot to the face of a Bile Titan, and it's dead. Easy when you have turrets, because like I said, the Bile Titan and any heavy enemy, any enemy really, will prioritize your turret, giving you time to slowly aim it at the heavy unit and kill it. Slowly aim at its critical points.
Deploying equipment package.
That's a rule of thumb when addressing any heavy unit.
Team reload required.
And that's why turrets are kind of vital on bugs. Once you drop that turret, understand that the heavy unit will prioritize it and give you enough breathing room to be able to accurately hit a critical point on them. This is me hitting some imaginary wall with my R and then being lit on fire. And almost dying, I'll Final Destination. Which I still believe is some sort of hidden mechanic within the game. It's always trying to trip you up into some sort of like cascade of death. The thing to note here is this is more about reactions on bug side as opposed to careful planning. There is a positioning game here, and there is a timing game and engage, disengage, but it's just more like a horde shooter, because it is a horde shooter.
Bug outpost
So it's about taking angles on the horde and finding the right point of insertion or point of attack. If you sit there and you fight the horde blindly, you will always be surrounded. So anytime you're in a fight, you have to be cognizant of that their goal is to surround you. Normally that means disengaging and then reinserting in a point where you have all your enemies in front of you. But I played this game more like, I don't care, and I'm just gonna fight my way through everything, and if they come, they come. I'm gonna use raw firepower to address them. I mean, obviously I'm still gonna take angles, but I'm not gonna move way out to reinsert and get everybody in front of me. You know, I'm not gonna strategically strategically run to re-engage from another angle. I'm just gonna move a little bit, take a little better angle, and stay more in the center of the fight. Here comes another Final Destination move. Just randomly knocked around. I'm gonna do something a little different here. I've slowed the time down so you can see what's happening. So I see the Bile Spewer creep up on me. I take out my Senator, and I try to kill him with a penetrative power by hitting him in the skull. That's a weak point is his head. I miss, and I swap to my Knight. And I'm trying to emphasize the important part of swapping. I swap to my Knight, I hit his green part, which is unarmored, and lets the Knight do the most damage. And that's the importance of using your entire kit and being comfortable with swapping through. So the better you are at doing that, the more effective and the better a player you'll become. Being able to swap through weapons as needed on the fly is an important skill that I think every player should have. As you can see, I swap back, I'm fully loaded. I'm trying to place those Senator shots, and I destroy the Bile Spear. All these decisions are being made on the fly, and they're being made much faster than I'm displaying. I'm slowing everything down to kind of give you a better breakdown of what's actually happening. What happens next is I go to finish off the Bile Spears, but they move from their stationary artillery position and quickly go to spew. I see this at the last possible second, and I mitigate this after firing my RR shot by moving away. And those are the nuances that decide whether you're going to get killed by what I would call a Final Destination event or you survive. That reaction and that ability to move out of the way and only partially take a glancing blow from the Bile Spear is the difference between survival and death. Also an important skill I think every player should know. What seems like luck, if you slow it down and analyze it, you begin to see it's not luck at all. It's these tiny little micro movements, these small decisions, these quick decisions that are made in the heat of the moment, that I would contribute to what I call battle IQ, that make you a better player, that produce like the type of Deathless solo player that can solo and full clear, you know, like on a daily basis. Like, just go in and play a game and just solo. It's not luck, okay? And it's definitely not like choosing a seat in scouting. It's battle IQ that's learned from playing a bunch of games. Everyone does things different. I believe in mobility, and I believe what you just saw there is a prime example of why mobility is king in Helldivers 2. Also, weapon swapping. I believe weapon swapping is the key to successful solo, as opposed to like plodding along in whatever armor you're using and relying on like gas dogs or bubble shields or however it is you play. Quick movement, agility, positioning, swapping your weapons are the difference between a really good player and a player who's okay and relying on his gear. That's part of why I made this game. I wanted to do an ICBM without the use of any type of bubble shield or gas dog to give me space. I wanted to just rely on my battle IQ to survive. Bugs is good because it's punishing up close. Doing a CQB style on bots is honestly, it's a different type of hard. Doing a CQB on bugs, you have to be fast. You have to move out of the way of physical, almost always melee style combat. That's the one thing. If you're going to watch this video for anything, go back to the past 5 minutes and analyze that tiny bit of that last skirmish and understand that that's really what's happening. None of it is luck. All of it is battle IQ. It looks like luck when you watch it in real time at the speed it's happening. But when you slow it down and see what's actually happening, you begin to understand the tiny nuances that are actually occurring.
How about a nice cup of liberty?
And to be honest, look at how I don't want to call it reckless, but look at how raw that looked. You know, there was a lot of moving around, there's a lot of taking damage, there was a lot of getting ragdolled, because that's what it actually looks like, and that's what this game is good at conveying, is an actual combat sense of how combat would actually happen. There's a trade between opponents that happens, it occurs, and for some reason, this game can convey actual combat really well. You know, it gives it a visceral and real feeling, because real combat isn't clean and beautiful and balletic, it's sloppy. Okay, it's a trade. It's two people duking it out, two people dancing at times. It's making mistakes, getting punished, punishing people for making mistakes, or punishing opponents rather. And it doesn't look pretty. It looks ugly. It looks sloppy and chaotic. And somehow, all that is conveyed in the Helldivers 2 experience.
Tagging map.
A lot of that has to do with the RNG. Without the RNG, you wouldn't get that give and take, that chaotic, anything can happen feel. And again, that's my chief complaint against scouting. You've removed what made the game good when you scout your games. Again, I remain your unscouted resource, authentic and sucker-free. I challenge anybody to ever claim any one of my games has been scouted.
Sub-objective in your vicinity.
I have approximately 100 Deathless clears as of this latest game, and just know every single one of them have been real.
How'd you like the taste of freedom?
I feel like that's what separates me from other people. When you come here, you get the realest mofo in the room.
Deploying sentry. Terminid hive structure destroyed.
Again, turrets have multi-uses. One thing is to flank, and another is a decoy or distraction. And in this case, I threw the turret kind of down range, more like a bloody piece of meat in an alligator cage. You know, I wanted the heat off of me, and on that turret, while I addressed that sports beer.
Throwing grenade.
One way to throw the gas grenade is to run too. So when on that breach, I throw I throw it in the path that the enemies are coming to kind of shake their, shake the scent. Think of them like bloodhounds, and every time you throw that gas grenade, it cleans your smell. So throw it directly in the path they're coming from.
Deploying sentry.
Right now things are getting weird, right? So looking to throw this Tesla. Same thing when you throw the Tesla. Throw the Tesla in the path that you think the enemies are going to approach you at. With the Tesla thrown down, I've given myself a little bit of space. I've taken another angle at this LiDAR station. I'm gonna go and re-up on some ammo. I see that I have a couple flyers to address. Not really a big problem. Cleaning up the shaft with the knight, and I'm gonna approach this console. We're gonna clean up a little bit of the air, but we're not overly concerned because we have our Tesla down there. We've thrown our scent off. We've got ammo. Even though it looks crazy, we're in a comfortable place. We see enemies are encroaching on us, so we're gonna throw some of our CC down. But we're still not spooked, you know? It's all good. No reason to run. Every time I say we, I think of the movie Venom, you know? But I mean like me and my avatar.
Bug outpost spotted.
Firing orbital barrage, clear the area.
I'm back at this bug nest, this 10-hole bug nest that I threw a 120 at before and it did nothing to. Oh no, that was another one. That was the one on the left. This is a new one. So I'm softening this one right here. Again, one thing to notice is that I'm running into enemies and it might look like that's reckless and stupid.
Sending down sentry.
But picture a charger like a train, okay? They really only move back and forth with kind of bad turn radiuses. So as long as you're running directly towards the charger, as close as you can without it turning and hitting you, you're in a good place. Because it's big and bad at turning. So if you're gonna run anywhere, it's directly towards it and as tight as you can without being charged by it.
Deploying sentry.
And the knight can even address larger units.
Get some! Get some!
A full knight clip can destroy a brute commander with a bunch of center play shots. Sorry, full knight magazine, not clip. Again, some final destination. that was meant to chain ragdoll me into my own Tesla. Luckily, I hit the ground and RNG saved me. One RNG outcome of that was that I got knocked towards range of my Tesla and zapped. But, you know, RNG doesn't love anybody, so it can work in your favor, it can work against your favor. The next part I'm going to slow down real quick because the game likes to do something I call Final Destination, which is it likes to set you up to die. And I think this is a really good example you're going to see in a second. I dropped this resupply pod because I'm low. I need more gas grenades. And the game is just deceptively good at killing you, and this is one of those traps that was set against me, which is common, and this is why you die in Helldivers. So it comes down, and there is a biospewer in the distance over there. He waits for me to get right up against the supply pod, and then he spews. And here's where the nuance comes, okay? I see that, I'm able to move out of the way and jump and only take partial damage. And that's the importance of what I would call glancing a blow. Instead of sitting there and taking the full brunt of that spew, which would have killed me, I moved out of the way even though I was going to get hit because I knew I'd only take partial damage.
One step closer to
So even when you're hit, the fight isn't over. What you do during being damaged may also save you from dying. And in this case, it was jump away and not take full spew damage. But just know the game sets you up like that. It's almost like a trap. It looks safe. I went over to the supply pod. Right when I got to it, when normally people would stop because you have to pick up supplies, I would have been spewed on and killed. But that's also part of the combat experience in Helldivers, is mitigating not only damage before it's taken, but damage as it's being taken. Also mitigating damage after being taken, which I don't really have an example of. But even after you're taking massive damage, just sitting there and taking it is going to make you die. Okay, it's a guaranteed way to lose. So as you're taking damage, even if you're taking incredible damage, find a way to get out of that situation. Salvage it, stim, run, jump, do whatever you can. Just because you're losing doesn't mean you lost. You didn't lose until you drop. So keep moving until that happens.
Say hello to democracy. How'd you like the taste of freedom?
Luckily that MG turret was there, otherwise that charger would have charged straight at me and probably caused my death. We'll just do a quick fadeaway RR shot for style. You know, just because.
Throwing grenade.
You gotta love those little bushes. Just gonna slide down these slippery roots. That's another thing, you know, a booster that is often overlooked is the muscle enhancement. Believe it or not, if I had taken it here, it would have prevented a lot of
Mag's empty.
slipping and like putting my hand in front of bushes and getting slowed down. It's actually a viable pick. Most people think experimental infusion is its top choice, and it's a good choice, but muscle enhancement would have been a good choice here as well. I would have done equally well, maybe even better. Again, hit the green part with the knight. Quick work. There's an impaler in the distance. I'll say a quick shot with an RR to the brow of the impaler will kill it. Same thing with one QC shot right to the brow, or even a commando shot. A single shot will destroy an impaler. If you want to know where to aim. One thing with MG turret is don't be afraid to spam it. It comes back so quick. Throwing in needlessly, like you have turrets with turrets, is okay. Throw your turrets like you have Tourette's. You know, just throw them as they come, spam them. Maybe save the Tesla for situations where you might need it, like a breach. But just throw that MG turret for no reason. You never know when it'll see something in the dark haze that you don't see.
Mission at 10 minutes remaining.
And then you can move accordingly, either run or babysit the turret and kill whatever it is that the turret sees that you don't. In any event, it'll help you out.
Tagging map.
This biome is still one of my favorite. It's like the Tarsh Haunted Forest biome. With all the titles that have come out, I'm still just a Viper Commando.
Tactical asset nearby.
This is a critical point in the game. I've got a Seaf Artillery. And it honestly makes the game. This was a make or break find. The RNG gods smiled upon me and gave me 2 nukes, 2 mini nukes. Mini nukes, which I kind of waste, but not really.
Dropping a pin.
Liberty dispatch.
So right now I'm running out of time. I have 7 minutes. I have to run across the map, so I'm going to do a lot of stim running. And it may seem like I don't have enough time, but that one big nest has been softened by a 120. So it's not a full 10 holes. Even still, it's good policy to stim run. That's kind of crazy though. 6 minutes, well, just under 7 minutes to take out a heavy nest and do the ICBM final mission. Should be tough. At this time, I'm thinking I do have those 2 mini nukes, and they're going to always be in the back of my mind for the rest of the game until I use them.
Deploying equipment package.
As you can see, that 120 killed a whopping 2 holes.
Firing orbital barrage. Clear the area.
So now I know I gotta do something. I gotta hit these holes manually with the RR and the gas grenades. I gotta play this close and reckless. I don't have time to be slow and address these hunters.
Tagging map.
So we hit this. Hopefully that 120 softens it. And we head to another objective. Because now we're multitasking because we have no time.
Deploying
Gonna
sentry.
throw this MG turret over here to clear out. It has a nice angle. And of course we're gonna use it to flank.
Nearby. Five minutes left. We can't stay this low much longer.
Gonna try to
Helldiver.
sneak up on me. Gonna throw that Tesla over there. Hopefully it makes some noise, draw some attention, keeps the heat off of me. And we're gonna throw this mini nuke on this few enemies.
Say
You know,
hello
we're gonna
to
overkill there. We only got 4 minutes, so it's time to break everything we have out. Throwing that nuke though prevented possible breaches, possible getting charged from the back by that charger. It just made a quick solution to that group of enemies that was behind me. Was it overkill? Maybe, but I have no time, so not really. Again, got this other nuke. I could easily throw a well-placed RR shot on him. He's distracted by the Tesla. But we're just gonna nuke him. It's like, Oprah, you get a nuke, and you get a nuke.
Deploying sentry. Deploying equipment package.
This is me just like paranoid and looking in all directions.
Dropping a pin.
Can't beat that hip fire one shot.
Deploying sentry.
Again, we throw the Tesla out to bring attention away from us.
Freedom spreads yet further. Extract when ready.
Right now I'm pissed because everyone's wanting to throw this garbage, but that's RNG for you.
Deploying sentry.
I think this time my 120s actually do something. They kill a decent amount of holes. There it is, man. RR one-shots. Hip fire one-shots all day.
left. Destroyer preparing to leave.
Again, I'd like to point out that RR ICBM Bug Souls used to be considered like one of the hardest contents of the game.
My life pursuit.
Now we have special units like Incinerator and Predators.
Fire in the hole.
Without saying too much, I still think Predators is broken solo. One of the main strategies to address them is to stare at your minimap all day and just do all sorts of weird, unfun things, as opposed to playing the game and enjoying it. And I know that the game isn't balanced around solo, but it still should be a soloable experience
Throwing grenade.
with just playing the game, you know, how you normally would play it. But it's not. So Predators is always sit it, look at your minimap, have it open, run away from every single Predator
Like the taste of freedom.
group that comes your way, run away from every breach, despawn everything, hide in armored units. It's just not a fun way to play. It's not the best gameplay experience. And every time I try to do it, it's horrible. So I can only do hard things that I enjoy. And I can say that combat loop right there is super unenjoyable.
2 minutes, 30 seconds.
I mean, like I said, obviously this is a team-based game, so it shouldn't be bounced around your solo experience. But that is definitely not a solo experience. The only way to do it is cheese it. It's horrible. I think you should still have a soloable Predator experience where you can play like this.
ETA T-minus 2
And you
minutes.
can do it, it's just not going to be a Deathless full clear. Unless you scout your games, you despawn, you stare at your minimap and run from every group. You hide in armored units. I mean, like, who wants to do that? But other than that, this is one of the best games, if not the best game to come out in the last 5 to 10 years. So. And Predator's team is really fun.
ETA T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Again, we're waiting for final extract. We're staring at our minimap. In the way that you would fight Predators, it's just running from the red blobs on the minimap. Which is fun, but I wouldn't want to do that the whole game. And that be the way I'm playing the entire game. You know?
ETA T-minus 1 minute.
I mean, like, Arrowhead has done a bang-up job of creating some sort of crazy, visceral, realistic combat feeling, throwback to the best days of co-op in the early 2000s style game. Hands down.
ETA T-minus 30 seconds. ETA T-minus 20 seconds.
But like I said, in terms of difficulty, RR Bug Solo ICBM,
ETA T-minus 10 seconds.
outside of special units, is one of the hardest things you can do. This is one of the most engaging and fun solo experiences that Helldivers has to offer.
Pelican 1. I have visual on the extraction.
If you like this game, please like and subscribe. I hope everyone enjoyed the new slowdown and explanations. It's a great way to show you exactly what's happening and all the nuances of what's actually going on, and that it's not pure luck. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
Liberty smiles upon your trail.
On the score screen, you're going to see here 500 enemies killed. If you're watching the entire game, you know that it was more than 500 enemies that I engaged, probably closer to 1,000. So keep that in mind, that I'm just pushing through enemies and killing what I have to kill and still getting my objectives done. in a crazy, weird, reckless John Wick style. I keep doing this. I should be talking until like the end of the game. And I'll say bye, and then like the game will still be going. And it's like when you say bye to a friend and you walk in the same direction towards your car, and you just have to walk in silence for another 10 seconds, awkwardly. So bye for real this time.
Welcome back. Democracy's reaching.